Hello and welcome to a scene for Vampire by Gaslight. Today we start the scene shortly after sunset at the offices of Johnson, Johnson & Jones, accountancy firm. And Mr. Nathaniel Jones, the most junior of the named partners, but still a named partner, and Sir Trant's particular contact at this firm is working late because he knows that Sir Trant has a habit of arriving after dark and a preference for such meetings, though he's not entirely sure why. But he's learned that few eccentricities are worth putting up with for the reliable customers. And Mr. Jones will look up when you arrive, having been shown in by the secretary, who is also working late because Mr. Jones is working late. The secretary doesn't get to go home until Mr. Jones has gone home.
This just reminds me of the part in Scrooge. I can't work late if you don't work late. Anyway, yeah, so I'll go in and bow my head.
And the secretary will ask, tea?
No, thank you.
And Mr. Jones says, I'm fine, thank you, Mary. And Mary will nod and head back out to sit at her desk, copying out letters in neater handwriting. Just most of what she's been filling her time with this evening, because the handwriting of some of the accountants is barely legible. And bills need to be legible for the customers to pay them.
This is true. This is true.
It's been quite some time since I last saw you. I do hope everything is well.
Yes. I hope to. I see that you've now become a named partner in this particular branch.
Yes. Yes, it's been a long time coming.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good that you finally have gotten it, which you've worked very hard for. Anyway, so how much did our mutual acquaintance inform you of my desires?
You said that you wanted to discuss something about hiring a governess. I thought your children were elsewhere.
They are, as a matter of fact. This is for patients. I don't know how much you know about the business I'm in, but all right, here's the thing. The science is in a very infant stage, and some of the very hard cases, they have to be locked up for the good of the public. Now, what I'm saying is, as our methods improve, the ways of curing these people will improve as well. I'm saying that if I can teach this girl to read, write, and draw properly, this will bode well for any type of, well, any of the other patients, if they get cured, uh, being able to re-enter society?
I was under the impression that a large number of your patients were designated as incurables, but we can
Well,
hope that science will advance.
I was going to say, what is incurable today, will they be incurable 10 years from now? 15?
I suppose I have less information on the subject than you do, sir.
Well,
I could tell you how many bed linens you went through during the last year, but the future is beyond me.
anyway, um, I assume everything's in the black as far, but since I'm here, I might as well find out if everything's in the black, as it were.
Yes, everything seems to be doing fine. Your stipend has gone through to your wife and children with no problem, including the money for their governess.
Good, good. And me hiring anyone else shouldn't put a strain on the resources?
Not a particularly great one, certainly not at governess's wages.
Good, good. Now, since this governess will have to work in a rather strange place, we might want to allow a little bit more of a wage to, certainly because she'll have to put up with certain things regular governess would not. You agree?
Yes,
And
I rather think that the majority of governesses, whatever the wages, might shirk such a position. But I do know one that might be able to help you, for a time at least.
good, good. And do you have any knowledge of uh, her past work and such? How families have enjoyed her company? Is it
Mm.
is?
Lord and Lady Wilberforce have let her go without reference.
Hmm.
The young lady is unmarried, but appears to have become with child. The circumstances are rather delicate. I don't know a great deal
Hmm.
about the situation, but with no family to return to, and very little likelihood of getting another job, she might be willing to take anything that would cover her room and board, at least for the
Hmm.
next few months.
And
I could get
maybe.
you her address if you'd like. She's currently staying at a boarding house, but goodness knows how much longer her finances will last there.
Hmm. Well then, I think I'm going to cancel any appointments I may have had this evening and save what finances she has left, and see if she is willing for the offer. Um, Given her situation and everything, I'll leave it to what would be the offer I should give her.
Well, I would think that place to live, food, um, perhaps a shilling a week for her various expenses towards her baby would be more than
Mm-hmm.
generous.
Uh, yeah, we have doctors there that they've had to deal with this type of thing, if she's applicable to that type of thing. But I don't think another patient will strain them too much. Do you?
I wouldn't mention that to her, sir.
Oh, you don't want the other. Hmm, true, true.
Well, let's just say that according to the information that I've been given, 5 of your patients in the last year were taken in because of loose morals and
Uh,
being in much similar circumstances to herself. Mentioning anything about the doctors treating her,
oh, right, 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 right. I'm sorry. Ugh. It's when you're around them all the time, it just it's not that I don't. It's just they can, they're still people in a way. It's just their brains have snapped, and the fact is, I still see them as people sometimes, and I forget most people don't.
well, it is quite admirable to take that view, but I meant more that she might be concerned as to if there might be other motives towards
Right,
your bringing her into your place of work.
right, right. But that's another thing. Everyone, their first thought is, are they here for me? And then the other thought is, are they here for someone I know?
Indeed, sir.
Anyway, um, so shilling a week for the baby expenses. Anything for her, or is
Well,
that covering her as well?
that as I said, if you're giving her room and board, she shouldn't have need for much else.
Right.
If
Oh well.
she's frugal, she might be able to put some aside as well.
Hmm.
I'm afraid it is really up to you, sir.
Um.
To let you
Uh.
know out of character,
Uh-huh.
because you would probably be aware of this, that is pretty average wages in general for
Mhm.
a working class person,
Right.
um,
Um.
which is low for a skilled labourer, but at the same time, you're also giving them room and board, which counts towards something, especially as she might be eating more than usual. So he's actually suggested a reasonable price.
Okay.
Now, a
Very
governess
good.
that was working in a particularly good position and had 3 or 4 children to look after might expect maybe 2 shillings, but he's given you a reasonable price for what to expect to give her.
All right.
It doesn't
What
sound
is
like much, but money was a lot different.
what is the lowest shilling?
Pennies.
Pennies. Uh.
There's
And
12 shillings to a pound, I think, at this point. I'll have to look it up, but
how many pennies to a shilling?
I will look it up because old money nobody knows these days. Um, Right. Um,
Sorry, people, dealing with the old-timey money.
12 pennies.
um,
12
hmm,
pennies to a shilling. And the florin is 2 shillings. And the crown is 5 shillings.
okay. I was going to say, what? Now, did he say 1 shilling a week?
Yep, which is
All
12
right.
pence.
Mm,
Which, considering you can get an entire cheap meal for about half a penny,
okay.
if
Let's
you
make
if you
it.
went to a decent place, you'd be looking at 6 pence for a really nice meal. That would be a really nice meal out. Would be 6 pence per person.
All right. Hmm. All right then. Well then, Mr. Jones, that sounds applicable, and if she does the job well enough and the results are good enough, mm, I may be predisposed to giving her a bonus at the end of her tenure. Uh,
That's very generous of you, sir. And he'll write down an address for you.
all right. Anyway, anything? So everything's out of character. Does he also handle the asylum's finances?
Yes, yeah, he gets all the bills come in, all the money goes out.
All right.
Um, Essentially,
I'll.
there's not really much in the way of banks. So, I mean, there are banks, and he will
Mhm.
write off to your banker if he needs more money. But mostly, he handles it all and then puts it in the bank for you.
Okay. And he'll go. Now the those are my personal finances. How's the asylum's finances?
Everything is going quite comfortably, sir.
Good. Good.
In fact, it's all ticking along quite as usual. There
Good.
was a slight increase in the medicines budget, um, bit of an outbreak of influenza a few weeks back, I think you remember. Um,
Yes. Yes.
but but that seems to have settled down again.
Good. Good.
And we do make sure that there is a little budgeted in for unexpected expenses.
Good. Good. Now, something not dealing exactly with the accounts, uh, but I don't get to see you at lunch like I used to, so I'm going to ask anything interesting in the finances of the country, which obviously you keep an eye on.
I am somewhat abreast of these matters, yes. Um, there seems to be rather an influx of cotton.
Hmm.
Prices aren't especially high, but there's rather a lot being brought in quite cheaply. And of course, the mills of northern England are churning out quite a lot of it. Of course, the
Hmm.
market is not great for the cotton. Many people prefer to remain with linen, but there is quite a bit of potential. I'm considering switching our suppliers in the bedding area over to cotton. We should be able to get sheets which should be just as sturdy and reliable for a somewhat reduced rate.
And while I adore efficiency, I also feel a comfortable patient is a happy patient. How is the feeling of cotton opposed to linen?
I have yet to find that out, sir, but I will be sure to see that some samples are sent to you for your final decision.
Of course, of course. I do enjoy. I am happy to see that you are thinking of these things. A penny saved is a penny earned, as they say.
Indeed, sir.
Anyway, I understand it's late, and well, I don't want to keep you here any longer than you need to be.
Well, of
Um,
course, I am here to see to your business and to ensure that everything is running smoothly. So I am here when you need me to be, sir. But I do appreciate your concern.
anyway, um, anyway, we must get together sometime on a more social function point and have a good chat like the good old days. And you can have me uh, up to yeah, up to catch me up on any social issues you might have. Anyway, please do enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you, sir, and good luck with your situation.
Thank you. And that he'll walk out and he'll give the secretary a nice bow and say, "Have a good evening."
You too, sir. And presumably you're going to head over to the lodging house and see if she is home.
Yes.
Right. The address that you've got written down will have her name on the top of it. Miss Veronica Charles.
Um, he'll knock on the door of the boarding house.
And a rather plump 40-ish-year-old woman will answer the door. Yes, sir?
I'll take out my card and be like, I'm Sir Horace Trent. I am here inquiring as the Miss Victor, uh,
Veronica.
Veronica Charles.
I see. Now, we don't allow gentlemen upstairs, especially this time of night, but if you will wait in the parlour, I'll let her know. This is a
Yes,
respectable boarding house, sir.
of course.
And she'll shoo two young women out of the parlour who had been sitting in there doing some sewing, and leave you alone in there while she goes to get Miss Charles. And Miss Charles will come in, and because you were told about it, you can just about see the beginnings of a bump, but it would be hard. It would be hard to tell.
Mhm.
She might just be a bit plump, but you can kind of see the beginnings.
um, Sir Trent will smile and motion to the chair across from him. Please sit.
She'll sit down, but you're both, well, she's very aware, and you can probably pick up from her body language that the woman who runs the boarding house is right outside the open doorway. She's not like in line of sight, but you can kind of you can just tell that she's just around the corner.
And probably with Auspex 1 up, I can hear the breathing.
Probably.
Anyway.
She's a nosy person. This is why she runs the boarding house.
Miss Charles, I heard from an acquaintance of mine that you are in the profession of being a governess.
Yes, sir.
Now, as I also understand it from this acquaintance, you recently become free for hire.
Yes, sir, that is true. She looks more than a little bit nervous because she's worried about the kind of person that would hire a governess without a reference.
Now, I hear from my acquaintance that now you were the governess for, was it Lord or Sir? Something.
Lord and Lady Wilberforce.
Now you were the governess for Lord and Lady Wilberforce.
No, she actually said that in character.
Okay. Now, you you took care of how many children?
3, sir.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have to say, the situation I'm here about hiring is not quite as big as a mansion. I am trying to teach a patient of mine to read, write, and to draw in greater detail than stick figures.
A patient,
Now,
sir?
yes. Now, I want to make it completely clear that I'm here to hire you and nothing else. I'm from what was that long name you gave the place?
I might have to look it up, but I'm sure it included mental defectives.
Yes, yes.
Because we saw one that was a real name for a real mental asylum at the time. I gotta use that.
Yes, it makes me cringe every time I have to say
it. We'll just skim over that.
Okay.
You've said the name. She's
And
recognised where it's from.
now, this patient has been in the system since she was, what did we say, 6?
7, but yes.
7.
I think.
And
yeah.
yes, she's been in the system for about 15 years. Her mental outlook is still very much that of a child, and I would like it if you could help not only teach her, but maybe help her along. She she doesn't seem very violent with me, so if you are kind and patient to her, she will be just as kind with you. Uh, um, I just want you to teach her to read, write, and draw, and that's pretty much it. and if you feel like there's anything else that she could do or that you think she could learn, I am open to any suggestions you have after you've met her. But
So she's one of those people that hasn't really grown up, right?
unfortunately, yes.
Okay. So where would I be staying? With you or
There, if you wish, they a little uh, place can be set aside uh, for you, and you can eat and be boarded there. And we have many doctors who stay overnight or a week or so at a time, and we can handle staff there all the time. Uh, I live there myself.
so I have to live in the madhouse?
Uh, well, you're free not to, but I was hoping that maybe your prolonged exposure to the child may help her mental condition.
She she frowns. You can tell that she does not like this idea, but you get the feeling that she doesn't feel like she has much of a choice.
And I can also um, uh, do I still hear the breathing from outside the hallway?
Yep.
Mm. I can also uh, mm, uh, Miss Charles, are you sure you don't want a cup of tea?
Um. Yes, I'll go and get us a pot.
Uh, well, there was this wonderful woman who answered the door. I'm sure she wouldn't mind, if we called her, she wouldn't mind grabbing the pot for us so that we don't have to break off this wonderful conversation, would she?
Yes. Yes, I will go and ask her. And she stands up and goes to the doorway, and there is quiet mutterings, and then she she walks off, and Miss Charles comes back in.
All right. Now, since I don't hear her in the hallway, I will be a little blunter. Now, I know your situation isn't uh, the best, but I will do my best to re-establish your respectability after the after the thing has, or after the event has passed, as it were.
She looks mildly confused by your phrasing,
Um,
but she's got a rough idea what you might be talking about.
I am sure that I can give you a maybe not as good a reference as Lord and Lady Wonderful, but I'm sure after uh, the reference I give you after you're done here will at least help you get back to a position like you had.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
And as I said, I will be giving you a shilling, and depending on the progress and how well things go, there could be more. A shilling a week.
Thank you, sir. That is very kind, sir.
So you are willing to take the position?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. You can tell
Very good.
she clearly looks like she'd really rather not, but
Um, okay,
she's agreed.
I'm going to give I don't know whether it'll be charisma or manipulation and expression here. I'm going to say I understand that this will be a rather strange for us as well, and I will endeavor to make this experience as uh, pleasant as possible on your end. And I want you to know that you will be helping a distressed soul learn something she should have learned many years ago and has been deprived of. I hope you can take some solace in that.
She nods. I'm sure it will be a very honourable thing to do, sir. To be honest, you're not going to get her happy about going to live in a madhouse. You could offer her a pound a day, and that's since I looked it up, that's actually 20 shillings. But she's still not going to be happy about what she has to do for it.
Okay,
At least until she
but
meets Cassandra. She might
yeah,
well get on
all
with
right.
Cassandra, but
Anyway, I when would you be available to move in, as it were, and take the position?
well, sir, it is a little late this evening, but I can begin packing tonight and move tomorrow if that is convenient.
Uh, it shouldn't be a problem. I will work on the. I will work on getting the area ready for you.
Thank you, sir. And it appears our tea has arrived.
Mm. Uh,
And she'll bustle in and start serving the tea.
um, he'll hold up his hand, going, "I'm sorry. If our business is concluded, I am going to have to leave. I honestly, it's we yeah, I never get a free minute, as it were, to myself, except on very rare occasions. So I must thank you very much for taking the position and uh, putting my mind at ease about this. And I'll turn to the 40-year-old woman and turn to her go. I thank you very much for helping me meet such a wonderful governess.
And she's going to spend 5 minutes or so trying to convince you to stay for a slice of apple cake. But eventually you'll manage to extricate yourself and get back to your cart.
Now, hmm, could I make, no, I can't drop in on the Fortescues. That'd be very rude, and they know, and I know they'd find that. Is there anything else I could do this evening? Hmm. No, I don't think so. The
It's
FT
up to
has.
you, but I think we're going to end that scene there.
Okay.
Thank you for watching, and thank you for playing, and good night, everyone.
Good night.